I never thought I would have such a great group of friends in college. It's just a shame that some of us can't be here for this great weekend. Buck, I'm sorry about your awful accident on the ferry. I'll send condolences and some money to your family. Chaz, I'm not sure why you thought it was a good idea to film yourself on the edge of the ferry. Now I have to buy them a new motor. Harvey, I can't believe you wore a Halston suit to Walmart. Your hick accent but rich demeanor really confused the local rednecks. I can't really blame them for what they did. Archie, I am totally to blame for the blunt force trauma to your head. I don't know why I thought you could deal with all the collapsing chairs in the house. Nan, I would have given you money for a real abortion. Rob didn't even make it into medical school. And Rob, there was no need to hang yourself after being convicted of manslaughter and practicing medicine without a license. We are your friends. We would have looked past it. And poor Kit, who had to take a job at a counselor training camp after Rob bit the dust. I was devastated to hear about your run-in with a frightened retard, my dear friend. Nikki, I know you fucked on the first date. I just wish you hadn't gone on a date with a known serial killer. Well, Minnie Muffster, we don't have anyone to kill, so it's just you, me, and a lot of baked beans this weekend. If you're watching this in a timely manner, happy April Fool's Day. You know, the day where collectively as society, we allow people to be assholes without repercussion. Muffy is played by the divine Deborah Foreman. Having been very shy as a child, her parents enrolled her in modeling school at age 13, where she found out she kind of had a niche for it. She did some subsequent catalog work and newspaper ads and ended up moving to Los Angeles. Due to a chance encounter with an executive from the Wilhelmina modeling agency, just 4 days after she moved to Los Angeles, she landed a contract with Maybelline. She soon jumped into acting and landed a few TV roles. But her big breakthrough was in the role of Julie in 1983's Valley Girl opposite Nicolas Cage. For the next few years, Deborah had a prominent and promising career. She landed a small but memorable role in 1985's Real Genius.
No, seriously, listen, if there's ever anything I can do for you, or more to the point, to you, you let me know, okay?
Can you hammer a 6-inch spike through a board with your penis?
Not right now.
A girl's gotta have her standards.
1986 was a big year for Deborah. She landed the lead role in My Chauffeur. She also won Most Promising New Star at the Show West Film Convention, and she got the lead in April Fool's Day. Unfortunately, both of these movies failed miserably with audiences, which kind of made her career falter. She did some B horror movies over the next decade, but pretty much called it quits in acting by the early 90s. But leaving the acting scene allowed her to pursue her more artistic talents. Now 57, she works as a freelance product photographer, web designer, and social marketer. And by the way, Molly Ringwald can suck it. Deborah Foreman is my quintessential 80s actress. Muffy St. John is a charismatic rich girl who invites her privileged friends to her remote mansion for a weekend. She sends the maid away, cleans the basement for some reason, and then goes upstairs to greet her colorful guests. She and the other ladyfolk prepare a wonderful dinner of baked beans and hot dogs while taking a Cosmos sex quiz, and voila! Dinner is served. Paper plates, Barbies representing each person, faulty champagne glasses, and collapsible chairs. She spares no expense for this lavish April Fool's Day celebration. The guests are shown to their rooms where they find creepy things like newspaper articles and hypodermic needles. The mousy outcast Nan also finds a cassette recorder with a baby crying, and that does seem to affect her a little bit. The next morning, Muffy looks as if she's had one hell of a night and perhaps some sort of head trauma. She gets dressed in the most hideous clothes she could find in the basement while everyone goes outside to find Cousin Skip, who seems to be missing. Nan, however, corners Muffy to express her displeasure of the baby tape. And how did she find out about her abortion? Whoops. No one can find Skip, so Muffy brings out a large array of tea to remedy the situation. Unfortunately, the water isn't working, and for some reason, the prissiest one goes to the well to get water and finds Archie's head. Skip's probably dead. Archie is definitely dead. The phone doesn't work, so the gang gets together to batten down the hatches, while Muffy stays relatively calm. Kit goes into Muffy's father's office to lock the windows, and a ghoulish Muffy catches her looking at a picture of young twin girls. She then walks in on her friends discussing whether or not she's killing everyone, which is always what every host dreams of, isn't it? Kit and Rob find Muffy's Barbie murder recreation scene in the attic, and then conveniently find a letter in the boat stating that Miss St. John is not mentally well, despite the fact she's been in an institution for 3 years. But Muffy has been in Vassar. Leave it to Amy Steele to be the detective of the group. She and her dipshit boyfriend find Muffy's clothes in the incinerator and some height markings on the wall. Oh shit, there's a Buffy in addition to Muffy. Rob stops to admire the lifelike eyes on the painting only to find Muffy's severed head. Poor Muffy. But they still have crazy Buffy to contend with. Buffy chases Kit through the house to the living room, and she opens the door. What the hell? Oh yeah, it's April Fool's Day! So Muffy explains that despite being a senior at a prestigious college, where she also does frequent plays, she's had the time to concoct this very elaborate murder mystery mansion weekend so that she can pay the taxes and keep the utilities on at this house that her dad will give her after graduation. So she almost alienated her friend Nan with the abortion gag. Archie almost got bit by a snake. Kit was pretty close into going into Ginny mode, and Rob almost had a heart attack. But that's okay, folks, because we had fun. Here's some champagne. Drunk Muffy goes back to her room, and Nan gets her revenge for her part of the prank. With another prank! April Fools! Jesus, these kids have a sick sense of humor. Muffy, you're a not quite final girl who, frankly, confused the hell out of your friends and audiences alike. But you eat off of paper plates and collect Barbies, so I identify heavily with you. There is one other not quite final girl who deserves honorable mention. Welcome to a very special edition of Becca Doing Stupid Shit. I didn't have a whole lot of ideas on what to do for an intro until I started watching the movie. I totally fucking forgot when they get to the house and they have their big dinner party with the baked beans on the paper plates that everybody had a Barbie. And I have a lot of those Barbies. So I was looking around at the table and I'm like, hey, that's Data Night Ken. I have him. And what do you fucking know? Nikki is beautiful Sun Gold Barbie. Yes, I have her too. But I noticed that Nan, the really uptight one, well, by golly, she was my first Barbie. Now, and that is not my first Barbie, that is the name of the Barbie. So they took a blonde Ken, which I happen to have, and put the great shape Ken outfit on him. So I happen to have that. Now this one I improvised, but I like mine better. So you have Chaz, the photographer, the filmmaker. Well, they kind of have him in this like smoking jacket. Well, this is Derek from Barbie and the Rockers, and he really, he looks like he could be Chaz. So I just left him as is. Now, we do have the one unfortunate person who's not there, and that's Buck. So Buck got hurt early on in the movie, and so he just gets a generic Malibu Ken. Then we have Rob and Kit, so the power couple of this. You can't see Kit's Barbie. She looks like she was probably had like a bridal thing on, but I always like this mullet look, you know, to go with kind of Amy Steele's hair. The fact that I know this is just fucking retarded. So Rob was dressed in Fashion Jeans Ken's outfit, which is these jeans. These are actually Fashion Ken jeans. But he had on a pink polo that had the collar popped. Well, I couldn't find my stinking fashion jeanskin polo, but I did find this tennis polo so that I could have something that was popped. I did have another pink shirt I could use. I figured the popped collar was more important. And then we have our lovely hostess. So this is Muffy Buffy. This doll happens to be Dana from Barbie and the Rockers, but this face mold was used for a lot of different Asian dolls, some Hawaiian ones. It's all the same face mold, but she is wearing Fashion Jeans Barbie's outfit. So I stripped poor old Fashion Jeans Barbie down so that Dana from the Rockers could be dressed like Muffy Buffy. And whoever wore anything like this, seriously. Okay, so last night I spent a fair amount of time prepping my Barbies, as per the movie, and braiding a really cheap Party City wig into a noose. I also did one of the most humiliating things a 42-year-old woman can do, and I bought a cheap-ass dress from Forever 21. Now I'm at the Dollar Tree, and we're gonna get some supplies for the big white trash dinner party that we're having this evening. Okay, bye. Lost my knife and my champagne. I feel like I look like Norman Bates with this wig on because it's just so thick in the front. Am I right? Yeah, that's why I can't wear this on camera.